we have the latest Abacus Data polling, and it has Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives leading among every age demographic except for the boomers.
Ooh, those
40%.
pesky boomers.
Yes. And not, I should say, I have several boomers in my life, and I will
Yep.
say, not all boomers. The conservative boomers are the best, and I'm lucky to have a few of them. But I don't know what's going on with the boomers. So you have
Yeah.
40% of 18 to 29-year-olds, which, that's very close because 39 versus 40%. That one's very close. The 30 to 44, which I think are the ones likely facing the most
The most pressure.
with the housing crisis,
Mhm.
but because they're
Right.
old enough to have seen how it was before, right? Eight to 10 years ago, before the liberal reign of terror.
When
Um,
Canada was good and things were
when
good and everything wasn't on fire. We
when they
have
could afford
memory of
stuff.
that. We have memory
Yeah.
of that. That's right. What the 60 and over cohort here, this 53% that are leaning liberal, are people that are insulated from the bad decisions of the liberal government. And what I'm about to say, I'm not talking about the blue boomers, okay? I'm not talking about the 31% blue boomers there. What I'm talking about is those guys that are being influenced. So they're insulated from the bad decisions of the government, and then they're being inundated with mainstream media that tells them they're doing everything right. And these boomers love to be told that they're being tough and they got their elbows up and there's the way to fight back against those blue conservatives. And um, I think as a society, what we all have to do is just go reprogram their remote controls. Okay, Canada, we're going to go into our red boomers' houses and accidentally deprogram their TV boxes from being able to view CBC, CTV, Global, MSNBC in the United States, CNN. This is what we must do. We must break them from their MSM watching habits so they can understand why the rest of the country is suffering the way they are. And so, to help us combat this, please send your boomers a Rebel News clip. Okay, this is a challenge for our viewers. The more that we can talk to them on their level on our platform, the more they'll be able to understand why we're the place we are in the country. So, so yes, everyone. Okay, we're all going to see family at Christmas. We're all going to be at our boomers' places at Christmas. So do take a moment to fiddle with their remote controls. They're not going to be able to fix it. They're boomers. Okay.
Yeah, well, that is the demographic that statistically is the one that watches CBC the
Of
most. They're
course
the
they are.
ones that still sit down for their nightly news
Of
and
course they
tune
are.
into this CBC to CTV. And so, for all the people who say, "Oh, correlation doesn't equal causation," well, I don't know. The data is pretty strong there that 60 and over are the ones primarily watching and supporting the CBC. And they're the ones that are voting for the Liberals, who I might add, many are also pensioners, right? And so
Like I said, insulated,
yeah,
insulated from all of
exactly.
the bad decisions. They've got their pensions. Many of them have more than one. They have their pensions, they have their income, they have their fixed income, they have their house, they have their basic expenses covered. They might have a place in the States, they might have a holiday home. These are people that are not suffering because of liberal decisions and liberal policies. And those are the people that we must be able to talk to about this, because the young people are really, really struggling. It is not easy to be a young person in Canada right now. There are no jobs. There's no opportunity for growth. The old sort of Canadian dream about getting married, having children, buying a house, doing things on a specific pathway that leads PS to fulfillment and lifelong gratification aren't available to our young people because the liberals have destroyed any semblance of the Canadian dream by importing too many people all at once, destroying our federally funded services and institutions, and by ignoring the voices of Canadians like that sound like us.
Yeah, absolutely. Calling them radical extremists instead of being like, oh, you know what? Those concerns sound pretty valid. Like, we should be able to afford to eat
Right.
and heat our homes simultaneously, not have to choose one or the other. These aren't extreme things. These are things that 10 years ago, everyone had the pleasure of enjoying
Sure,
for the most part. And there
sure,
was social safety nets in place if you needed a little bit of a helping hand or a
sure.
hand up. And now those have all been strained thanks to horrible policy and the unmitigated influx of everyone into this country
Yeah,
without proper
millions of people.
infrastructure and
Millions
planning
of people. Yes.
to support it. So yeah, the whole thing is a mess, except for the boomers who, as Lise has so eloquently broken down, are insulated from all of it. But